So much of the pain that I've experienced, looking back, I've realized that a lot of it, most of it, maybe all of it, has actually come from me trying to not feel what I'm feeling. And if I were to think about typical answers that maybe I've heard before about how to cope with the holidays, or cope with grief, or cope with whatever it is, it definitely brings images to mind or phrases to mind of advice about how to not feel what I'm feeling. Words like coping are very helpful or they're very attractive words, because I need a way to cope with this long list of things that fall under the category of, I don't want that. I don't want this rage. I don't want this sadness. It physically hurts sometimes. I don't want that. I don't want this numbness. Now I feel numb. I felt pain and I didn't like that, but now I feel numb. And now I feel I'm losing my connection with my loved one. Well, I don't want that. I miss the pain. Give me the pain. Oh, now I feel the pain. Well, I don't really want that. Just always kind of not wanting what's happening. And it makes sense that the divorce rate's 95%. It makes sense that many people turn to addictions, whether they're substance abuse or whether they're a little more covert than that, like working all the time, or social media, or whatever it is. We all know where we go when we want to be distracted. We're looking for ways to cope. There's a lot of moments between now and Thanksgiving, or now and Christmas. There's a lot of moments between now and when you go to sleep tonight. And so there's a lot of moments for us to try to figure out, if we're going to try to figure out how we're going to cope with all that's coming over the next couple of months. But maybe we could just bring our focus, our attention, a little more local than that for now, to this moment here. And I mean this moment. And now this one. And now this one. And they're just coming, and they're just kind of coming and going, as they tend to do. And I know that for a lot of my life, I spent a lot of those moments wondering what I was going to do about other moments. And then other times wondering, almost replaying, how did I do with those moments that have passed? And maybe I should have done this, or maybe this should have happened. And my focus is, so much of my life has been on what's in front of me and what's behind me. And for so many of those moments, as I think is just kind of the nature of things, as my focus is either in the future or in the past, really kind of missing the moments that are happening. When I started to grieve the loss of my daughter, especially when I became open to grieving the loss of my daughter, all this other stuff started coming up that had nothing to do with this couple-year experience of mine. It was going all the way back to childhood. And all this stuff is coming up. And it was like once you open the doors to grieve one thing, you open the doors to grieve anything that needs to be grieved. And there was a lot of me that wanted to shut that down. Obviously, who wouldn't feel that way? But I heard a voice of my daughter. The same invitation that I heard from her when she was living, saying, hey, I'm alive. I'm kicking. I'm moving. You see it on the screens. You feel it in your hands. Don't go to my death now. I'm alive. Now I'm here. And I kind of thought after she would pass away that I would no longer hear that voice. But instead I heard it new. Only this time I heard her saying, "Hey, you are still here. You are breathing in. You're breathing out. You're still alive. You're moving. Don't miss your life. Looking to the future, looking to the past, trying to stop something from happening, trying to stop yourself from feeling what you're feeling. Come back to this moment. This is all we have." Now I'm going to invite you to turn your attention to your breath. And I'm not going to ask you to do an exercise of breathing so much as just an observation. So just notice your breath and what it's doing. In modern culture, we're stuck in a habitual state of fight or flight breathing. This is how you breathe when you're being chased by a bear. You don't want to be seen or heard. You need to survive, and that's all that matters. When a baby breathes, that diaphragm goes all the way down and all the way up. And you can see it in their little body. You can see their whole body moves as they breathe. And they have this term, it's called belly breathing, when you get into breathing. And so when they say, "Oh, breathe into your belly," well, that's not actually possible. The lungs only go down to here. And the diaphragm only goes down to there as well. And so what's really happening is that when you take a breath the way that a baby breathes, a full, deep breath, your diaphragm moves down in such a way that it actually displaces your organs. And when it displaces your organs, your belly moves. Everything down here has to kind of get out of the way. And when this happens, your organs receive a very gentle massage. And this massage prevents and fights disease. It literally heals your organs, your vital organs, with every single breath. And something has happened to us as modern culture where we have formed a habit of breathing in a way which robs us of this healing. And what you've just been experiencing by beginning to let go of your breathing is allowing your system to return to its natural state. It takes so much work to let go. It's like this kind of work. It just takes a lot to let go. And yet, letting go, by definition, is releasing effort. It's actually much easier. And so what we've been exploring together physically, literally, in these moments, we're exploring how the more that we let go, the more that we trust the process of breathing, the more our bodies receive healing. If someone's about to strike me, if a bear is attacking me, every muscle in my body will become dedicated to protecting me. Especially the outer muscles. These ones that you want to, those big muscles, they're here to protect the vital organs. So I tighten up, I tense up so that it doesn't hurt me. If I do that long enough, I'll have a new pain to deal with. In this moment, it's okay to let go. No protection needed in this moment. It's okay to breathe. Can you hear that? It doesn't change anything that's happened. But it changes everything at the same time, somehow. You are here. You're breathing in, you're breathing out, you're alive. The invitation is to not miss your life. And I know what that means when you hear that and when you consider that. I feel it too. I just felt it just now. If I let go, I let in everything. Like I said before, it seems like once we open the wound, it's like there's just an open door. Right? But what's the alternative? It's closing the door. Be alive. It hurts sometimes. But that's not all that's here. You were just feeling it in your body. There's a lot more that's here than just the hurt. If we want to feel and experience, truly experience life, the good parts of life, we have to open the door. The good news is we won't only feel the bad parts of life. And there's this voice kind of in the back that's like, no, yes, you will. Like, that's what you're going to feel. You're going to feel all this stuff that you don't want to feel. You're going to have to deal with this whole list of, I don't want this. The list is so much longer than just the things that we don't want. There's so much for you here, just in this moment. There are beautiful things in this room that if you give yourself the time, you start to enjoy just looking at them. There are beautiful sounds in this room. If you let yourself take them in, fill you. Your breath is literally healing your body if you let it. With every moment.